we have a big choice. This is not your ordinary election. This is not who's going to be president for 4 more years.
Right.
This is what kind of kids, what kind of country we're going to leave our kids, what kind of people are we going to be. It's a very serious election for a very serious time, which means we need serious leadership and solutions to fix our country's problems. I want to read you a quote, and I think it pretty much sums things up for what the state of play is today. Quote, if you don't have any fresh ideas, then you use stale tactics to scare voters.
Right.
If you don't have a record to run on, then you paint your opponent as someone people should run from.
Right.
You make a big election about small things. You know who said that?
Yeah!
Well, you knew this quote.
Yeah!
Candidate Barack Obama said that 4 years ago,
Right.
and sadly that is exactly what he has become today.
Right.
You know what? Virginia, we're not going to fall for it, are we? That is why Mitt Romney and I are offering real solutions for a real recovery.
We believe you.
You see, we can't settle for this.
That's right.
We can't settle for the fact that there are 23 million Americans still struggling for work.
That's right.
We're in a college town. It's a great college. It's a great university.
That's right.
I live just in the shadow of Madison, Wisconsin, another great college town. A couple people here, hey, go Bucky's. That's not real popular to say right here, I don't think. Just lost 5 votes. But the point I'm making is, today, college graduates, 50% of our college graduates today are either not working in the field in which they studied or are working at all.
That's right.
Look at the future they're entering into. Look at the economy they're graduating into. We're going at 1.3%. That's anemic. That's fledgling. That's flat. We're growing slower this year than we grew last year. Last year was slower than the year before that.
That's right.
Job growth in September was slower than August, and August was slower than July. And we're not even creating enough jobs to keep up with our population growth. We're going in the wrong direction.
Yes.
The president is simply offering more of the same.
That's not acceptable.
He has given us forward budgets with trillion-dollar deficits each and every time. He has never once, in the face of this coming debt crisis, put out a plan to ever balance the budget. He's promising a huge tax increase in January. And if you listen to the president, you think it's just, you know, a movie star, a Wall Street guy, and some ball players. Guess what? Crutchfield pays their taxes as a small business, as an individual.
That's right.
8 out of 10 of our businesses in America file their taxes as people.
Right.
And what President Obama is guaranteeing, because he already signed the law to do this, that this January the top tax increase, the top tax rate on a business like that, 500 employees, goes up to about 44.8% in January. You know, overseas, which where I come from means Lake Superior, the Canadians, they just lowered their tax rate on all of their businesses to 15%.
Right.
Most of our competitors overseas, they tax their businesses at 25% or less. And the president is saying, let's go above 40%. You know, when you tax our businesses and our job creators at so much higher tax rates than our foreign competitors tax theirs, they win, we lose.
Right.
All this tax increase does is it gives them more money to spend, and it doesn't even cover 10% of the proposed deficit spending that President Obama has already put into law that he's calling for.
Right. We'll all be out of business.
We know if President Obama got reelected, he's already promising this, it's already coming. You get a $2 trillion tax increase. The debt goes up to $20 trillion. And this debt burden would total about a tax increase of $4,000 for a middle-income family.
Mm-hmm. Fire Obama!
That is why Virginia's going to help us fire Barack Obama. But it's not enough for us to just complain. It is not enough for us to just spell out another agenda. Thank you. It's not enough just to complain about how he's campaigning on fear and division and envy, on distraction and distortion to win an election by default. We owe you a clear choice. We owe you solutions. And you know what? Here's what we do when we think about what we need to do to save this country. We think about our founders. We think about those principles that built this country. We look at the principles of liberty, freedom, free enterprise, self-determination. And by the way, government by consent. That means the government works for us and not the other way around. We got that from Virginians. And when you apply these principles, you come up with solutions. That's what our 5-point plan is all about. Number one, we got so much energy in this country. We have so much energy in this state. Let's use that energy in this country, in this state, to put people back to work, to lower our energy prices, to create jobs, to get us off of Middle Eastern oil, to get us back to business for keeping American energy dollars in America. We've got an education problem. We've got kids trapped in inner city schools, trapped in poverty. And we've got lots of Americans in between jobs who don't have opportunities, who need skills to get the jobs they want and need in the 21st century to get back on the path of prosperity, to get back on pursuing their version of happiness, their American dream. We've got to fix the skills.
That's right.
No more bureaucracy. Get people into school so they can get the skills they need to get the jobs they want. We also have to acknowledge that 95% of the world's consumers, they don't live in this country. So if we want to make more things and grow more things in America, to create good family-supporting jobs, we need to open up markets so we can sell them overseas.
Right.
We need trade that works. If countries cheat, we need to call them to the carpet. And then we need to open markets so we can sell our products overseas and make good things in America by reviving our manufacturing system, our intellectual capital, and putting people back to work. We need to stop spending money we don't have. This is serious. I mean, just look at the horizon. Debt crisis on the horizon. You know what? We know how this movie ends. Go home, turn on the TV, and see what's going on in Europe. Look at Greece. This is what happens when countries, when politicians keep making empty promises to voters to get elected. Those empty promises, all that borrowed money become broken promises in a debt crisis, and everybody gets hurt. We have a moral obligation to stop spending money we don't have. We have a moral obligation to stop depending on other governments to give us money to fund our government. And we have a moral obligation to save the American dream for our children and our grandchildren. That means giving them a debt-free nation. It affects our kids' future.
You can fix this.
That's right. We want USA to be debt-free. And let's never forget that most of our work, most of our income security, these middle class creating opportunities come from successful small businesses.
That's right. That's right.
We are a nation of entrepreneurs. We are a nation of workers. Look at Bill Crutchfield's story. It's a perfect example.
That's right.
Born and raised in Charlottesville, $1,000, started a business in his basement, 500 employees today. Good jobs. We need to clear the hurdles from them. We need to remove the barriers.
Right.
All that small businesses see when they see the horizon, they see more regulations, more debt, higher interest rates, higher taxes, more uncertainty. If we remove these barriers and get behind and champion these small businesses, we get back to growth. Look, President Obama, his answer was stimulus. His answer is more borrowing, more spending, more money printing, more regulating. If that worked, we would be on the road to prosperity with Greece.
He lies.
So,
He lies.
here's the issue. He promised that the economy would be growing at 4.3% this year. If we just passed the stimulus, it's growing at 1.3%.
He lies.
And so what we know is if we go with the same, we'll get more of the same, but with a debt crisis.
That's right. That's right.
These 5 points, this agenda, these solutions are specific ideas to get people back to work. To get people who used to be in the middle class who are now in poverty back in the middle class. About turning this economy around. about seeing our problems for what they are and running at these problems, not away from these problems, and fixing these problems.
Right.
That takes leadership.
That's right.
That takes a leadership. We're in such a historical place. We've all read the books. One of my favorite historians just passed away 2 or 3 weeks ago. And he said, the 4 qualities that make for a great leader when nations need one are these. A person has to have a moral compass. A person has to have a bedrock of principles. A person has to have a vision for the country and the leadership skills and the experience to execute that vision, to get it done. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Mitt Romney. Moral compass, a bedrock of principles, the founding principles, these Virginian principles. And this is a man who has proven in his life. He doesn't demagogue or demonize Democrats. He reaches across the aisle. He doesn't have to compromise principle, but you find common ground, you get things done. That's what this man has done throughout his life. That's what he did as governor of Massachusetts with the Democratic legislature. He balanced the budget 4 times without raising taxes. That's leadership. This is a man who, in business, helped create tens of thousands of jobs. He turned around struggling businesses. He started small businesses, businesses that we now know like Staples and Sports Authority, Bright Horizons. And by the way, being successful in business, that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with that. We want more people to become successful. And the Olympics also. Look, I know when we look at this, let's never forget that this is just one of those moments. We're going to look back at this moment as a time where America picked this path or that path. A growing economy with opportunity and upward mobility, or more stagnation and a debt crisis with more dependency. No. This is that kind of a choice. And so when you think about November 6th, Election Day, think about a person who you know, who liked the hope and the change in 2008, who was inspired by that, but who now knows it's empty.
Right.
Who now knows we're on the wrong path.
That's right.
Help them on November the 7th, and November the 6th. I'm going somewhere with this. Because let's also think about November the 7th. Let's think about the next morning.
Right.
Let's think about when we wake up and we turn on the TV.
And you're the vice president.
Well, thank you. Let's think about what we're going to see.
Morning in America!
Hey, just as this election is a mandate for us, President Obama will claim one for him. And that means, since he's proposing nothing different, we will get nothing different.
Right, that's right.
So the question is, do we want to wake up on November the 7th and see that we just have 4 more years of the same?
No!
Do we want to wake up and think we're going to have to wait 4 more years?
No!
Or do we want to just wait 2 more weeks?
That's right!
This debate, we're coming to the close. This debate, it's ours for the next 12 days.
Right.
And the choice is yours on November the 6th.
Right.
And boy, is it a clear choice.
Right.
Here is the commitment that Mitt Romney and I are making to you, our fellow citizens. We are not going to duck these tough issues. We are not going to kick the can down the road. We are not going to run from these problems. We are going to lead and fix this mess.
We believe it.
We are not going to spend the next 4 years blaming other people. We're going to take responsibility and get in there and fix this mess. Thomas Jefferson said it so well in the Declaration. Our rights They come from nature, and nature's God, not from government.
That's right.
Our founders secured this, and our veterans, each and every one of them, put on the uniform and secured it for us in every generation, and we are thankful for that. And so we're not going to try and replace those founding principles. We're not going to try and transform this country into something it was never intended to be.
Right.
We're going to reapply those founding principles and get this country back on the right track. That's our commitment to you. The choice is yours. So let's wake up on November the 7th and know we gave it everything.
That's right.
We are asking you for your vote. We are asking you for your help. We are in this together. And together, we can get this done.
Right.